We're going to be talking about branding in the NBA. And, it's very befitting. He's got that, Laker jersey behind him. So, you know how I feel about that. He goes by the name of John Lucas. John, say what's up to the people.
Hey, how everybody doing?
Good.
What up, JL? What's good, baby?
What's up? Not much.
Man, listen, we can't even start. I got so many things to throw at you, but we got to start just with that Laker jersey behind you. Okay, and I know your relationship and your connection with Kobe himself, but do you got a great story that we want to share with the audience about you and Kobe?
Uh, Man, so many. That's my big brother. I grew up 4 houses away from him in Philadelphia. Went to all his high school basketball games for junior and senior year. Just the memories of just riding in car with him, going to the workouts at St. Joseph on City Avenue, um, and him having a trash bag in the trunk of his car. He had a forest green Land Cruiser, and he had a trash bag in the back of his car. And I just asked him, I was like, "Yo, what's in the bag?" He was like, "Oh, that's my hoop clothes." Because in Philadelphia, you can go to any corner, any block, and it's a game going on. And he was like, "I always want to be prepared to play, and I won't ever have time to go back home get my clothes, because then the game might be over with. So I'm always ready."
Right.
And so when I got my car, my sophomore year in high school, first thing I
That's
put, it wasn't a trash bag. It was a Nike duffel bag, but I had full of
right.
hoop, and I always kept about 4 or 5 pair of shoes with me. And in Houston, I just, we had the green course on the Southwest. We had Missouri City. We had the YMCA's. We had, Sunnyside. Everywhere the hoop was at, I had to be there. Wheatley High School, Cashmere. So I never I didn't have to go home. I was already ready. Just changing the car. Boom. We in there. So I took that from him, but I also took his work ethic, his focus, his detailing. So he's the only jersey hanging in my house. I don't have none of my jerseys up. I don't even
That's
have Michael
crazy.
Jordan. I got Michael Jordan's autographed jersey. That's not hung up in my house. He the only one that's hung up because he inspired me in so many ways at a young age, though. Before the fame, before everything else, I was that
That's
that
a
I looked
gem
up
though.
to.
So for all you young guys out there, if you when you get your car, if you don't have a trash bag, a Nike duffel bag, or
Yeah,
something in the trunk, you might not be a certified hooper. Because John is all about the youth. Now, Big John, I appreciate you right off the bat for what you do for my son. But I see you touch a lot of youth in the community. And I think your group, JL3, just got on the EYBL, right?
no, second year. We got a 17U
His
team now.
second.
Yeah, we have 15, 16U, and then obviously, well, it's our third year actually, but we got 17U now. So we've been EYBL, and I'm ready for the season. See these kids play. It's been tough for a lot of kids, especially here in LA. But everywhere else in Texas is wide open. So all of our kids have been able to have their high school seasons and stuff like that. So I'm eager to see how they're going to do this year.
So when you giving back to kids, because I mean you do a hell of a job of doing that. What are you looking for? Because I know basketball is not the end result for you. You're trying to achieve something. So if we're leaving something on out there for the kids, what are you trying to give them through your program and through your giving back in the community?
Man, what I try to give them is, never give up, always inspire others, help others around along your way of the journey. Because basketball to me is a fraternity. It's once you're in, you're gonna see the same kids, and you're all gonna grow up together. And I'm all about iron sharpen iron. So
Right.
I when I talk to my kids, I'm trying to touch them mentally, because to me basketball is about, it's the mental part that gets me. A lot of kids mental game isn't there, isn't focused, and
Right.
the skill level, to me, I'm real big on being fundamentally sound and being
So
skilled.
when you think about being fundamentally sound, walk me through you when you were in high school. We'll start in high school because you played tennis, you played basketball. What was your time management like in those situations? Because most people don't even know, like your father. I know they know your father as being the #1 overall draft pick.
Mhm.
But they didn't realize that at the same time, he was one of the better tennis players in the world at that time. And
Mhm.
so when you were being raised, you was not only being raised to play basketball, but you were actually being raised to play tennis.
Yeah,
And
both.
I to both, right? So what when you were working out and you were preparing to be an NBA player or to be the best player, what did that look like? What kind of reps did you put in? What was your regimen like on a day-to-day basis?
My dad, I told my parents when I was 4 years old that I was going to be an NBA player, and my dad was like, "That's what you want to do. I'm gonna show you to be that." So as a young
Right.
kid, he had me travel with him on road trips, see how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself, how you have to get yourself on a schedule, how you had to get your proper rest, what you need to be eating, how many shots you need to get up a day. So
Mm,
for me, my mornings when I was in high school, I get up at like 5:30 in the morning, make about 1,500 shots, and then I go to the tennis court and get my forehands, my backhands, my serves, my volleys in, and then I go to first period, do high school basketball practice, then got tennis practice after, and then at nighttime we call it nightcap. I go back to the gym, get another 1,500 makes in. So my goal is to make 3,000 shots a day. So
oh my God.
I'm logging in 21K a week.
A week. And that's four times in a month. Not too many people are going to be able to catch you with that regimen. I mean, that regimen is proven because your senior year, what was your average
I
in
average
high
30
school?
average 30 points a game, 11 assists. I led the whole state in scoring, led the whole city. Um, but to me, it was more like, and I didn't play AAU, so I wasn't getting the recognition like a lot of my colleagues was getting, like TJ Ford, Carlos Hurt, Rashad Lewis, because I played tennis in the summer. We
Right.
didn't know about AAU basketball. My dad didn't. He was like, "Oh, it's high school, and then you go play tennis. High school, then." And until my little brother came along, Jay Lucas, he was like, "Oh, AAU is important." So Jay didn't want. He decided not to play tennis, and so Jay became. He was a McDonald's All American, Jordan brand,
Right.
all the accolades.
Right.
But for me, I used to joke around with everybody because I used to tell them what y'all do in 12 months. Technically, I only do in 4.5 months. And I went to Nike All
Wow.
camp. I went to top 100 NBA camp, and people was like, "Man, where did he come from?" Like I played tennis, so to me, they were traveling every week for a basketball tournament. I was traveling every weekend for a tennis tournament, and I was one. I was
Which
top
is
50.
amazing. That's an amazing balance, bro.
Yeah, so I was top 50 in the country in tennis, and I was like 128 in basketball. And it just we didn't know, but
But
I always tell everybody. They ask me if I would ever change it. I said no, not at all, because tennis made me a better basketball player.
yeah.
Tennis.
So okay. So when you look at that, what correlation do you think tennis? What did that do for you to make you a much better basketball player? Because I know in tennis, you only have to depend on yourself, right? You don't have no one else to depend on.
Right. So what tennis did for me to let me know I can stand on my own. To let me know if I'm having a bad, like in tennis, if I'm having a bad match, can I will my way into figuring it out and digging in deep and correcting whatever the mistakes I'm making. I have to do it on my own. I don't have four other
Mm,
guys to if I'm having a bad game and Tony Allen's having a good game, like get me out there. So I have to get myself out of it. And what it does is make you mentally tough, where you feel like if I see a brick wall, I can run through that brick wall. Like can't
right.
nothing stop me from doing what I want to do. And that's when I came out with the slogan, I don't chase dreams. I don't chase dreams. I hunt
Right.
gold. I'm a goal hunter. So I
Ooh,
put my goal, and I said I want to play 10 years in the NBA. I did that. I want to be Big
right.
12 of the year. I did that. I want to go to the Final Four. I want John Naismith. I did every goal I ever set. I have accomplished it, and I got way more goals to go. So my
Could
goals
you
now are
hunt them?
I'm a hunter. So
You're a
it might not
hunter.
happen, but it's just like you gotta be still and you gotta wait. And when that opportunity comes, you gotta be ready for the moment.
Man, John, I'm listen, I'm a hunter. I'm gonna write that down because I want to share that with some young people, right? I'm obviously gonna share with my son about hunting his goals. And if you guys can pick up a gem today from John, because John experience goes on and on. And it's way so much that we might have to bring him back again because his impact and his journey is crazy. I mean, John, your journey is remarkable. And the last thing I want to leave with is that your last name. You know, I deal with a lot of kids now that fathers played in the NBA, and I don't know if they have the same approach that I've heard you tell me in our private conversations about protecting your last name. Can you walk me through that and leave us with that? I think that's great.
Well, your name is everything. Your name hold like my name hold weight, right? So we everybody, oh, he's basketball royalty, basketball royalty. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you are who you are. So when I used to go on the court, I used to listen, oh, he only going to Nike camp because of who his dad is, or he only going Nike camp because what his name is. And to me, I used to laugh at it because I'd be like, man, I just gave you 45. I just gave you 60. I just gave you 50. I gave you 25 on a light day. I had an off night. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't really looking at my game. So and then I used to hear parents say, hey, you know who you playing today? You're playing John Lucas' son. They didn't even, I'm named after my dad. So they wouldn't even acknowledge like, oh, you're playing John Lucas' son, the third. They'll be like, well, you're playing John Lucas' son. If you do good against him, we can make our name. We can make our name. And what I said, so I sat back one day, I remember like I was like a freshman. Never forget this. We was playing Madison High School.
Mm,
Um, Now my fault, sophomore, we was playing Madison High School, Vince Young freshman year, and we're playing, and I like, their parents would be like, oh yeah, you playing against John Lucas. I went to Bel Air, which is a nice school, ain't rugged.
right.
It's a public school, but it's in a good
It's
area.
nice.
It's nice. So they were like, oh, y'all do him, you know, we can make our name on it. My whole thing was like, mm-mm,
Not
you ain't,
today.
no, you ain't gonna make a name off me. I'm gonna show you why I'm him.
Mm,
And that I was like, if you want to make a name, you're gonna have to come take it. And one thing about me, Chris, you know me, I ain't giving
right.
nothing away. Because at the end of
Nothing.
the day,
Not when you hunt your goals.
I'm a hunter. So at the end of the day, I've always been attack mode. Even in the NBA, I
Wow.
had to find my niche, right? So I've always been a scorer, always been this. So now I had to readjust my goals. It
Mm,
didn't mean I wasn't accomplish my goals. I just had to make
right.
adjustment because if I didn't, I probably would only play 1 or 2 years in the league. But because I was
That's great.
humble enough to make an adjustment to still fulfill
Right.
the goals I have set, it worked out. And what I mean is, I'm not the man no more on the basketball court. I got to
Mm,
give the ball up to T Mac, Yao Ming, Ray for
right.
Austin. I have to change my game if I want to be established. And that's what's wrong with some of the guys that's in the league now. Is
Right.
you see them in there and then they gone, they disappeared because they didn't know how to change,
They know how to pivot.
pivot. And we talk about it all the time. Your footwork is important. So you gotta know the pivots.
You
You
gotta
gotta,
know how to pivot. You
gotta
gotta
know
know
how
when
to
to get in and get
pivot,
out.
especially in this field that a lot of my
Oh,
young
Johnson.
men are trying to accomplish and trying to do. And when they get to me and I hear, oh, this is so and so, man, he's ranked this and that. But when I get my hands on them, I see they can't play. So it's my
Mm,
job, which I love to do, is show these young men don't get caught up in the hype because you got to live up to it. And if you can't properly make it, right,
right.
you have to be able to know all aspects of the game. And one thing I know is that the game of basketball has not changed since Bob Cousy. Since all It's about
Right.
spacing. It's about knowing where to be on the court when you don't have that ball in your hand, because you're not going to have the ball in your hand at all times.
Right.
And that's
You
one
got to
thing.
play without the basketball.
You got to play without the basketball. Just imagine you're going to take more shots than Kobe Bryant. You're going to be so far out the league. It's ridiculous.
It's not even ridiculous. But John, I want to leave with this, because the league has changed so much from when you were in the league, that if you were in modern day league right now, the skies would be a limit for you. It wouldn't even, like, because I mean, it's a copycat league, right? So as they begin to play, go from being a 6'6" point guard to 5'11", 5'6", it don't even matter now. You could play two guys in the backcourt that's the same height, as long as they're the best basketball players. So I would definitely love for you to come out of retirement right now. And
it's not happening. It's crazy, because I talk to Will and Nate Robinson all the time, and I tell them, I say, man, we was before our time.
Yeah,
it was before our time. Like, they want small guards who can put the ball in the hole. And what's so great about basketball now is it's no positions in basketball anymore.
No position. It's positionless game. It's a positionless game, bro.
So we just before. Guess what? We're gonna affect the game another way, and that's by paying it forward.
Absolutely, Kennedy.
It's fire. I mean, he done dropped so many gems. We got a Kobe story. I mean, that's a great way to end the quarter. Thank you so much, John, for being on 48 Minutes a Game. We do